Today I'm going to provide a review of the FX Enigma Expert Advisor. This is an exciting new EA with an impressive and verified track record, and we're going to take a look at the vendor's results and then compare with my own backtests and real-time trading results. We'll also provide some very important information relevant to purchasing any expert advisors, including this one, so stay tuned for that. Let's take a look at the vendor's website and see the expected results that they're presenting. So I'm on the vendor's website here. It's quite a simple website, and if we just go down, and we can see that they've linked in their FX Blue results, so certainly a very nice looking equity curve. It's got a history of about 3.5 years, and it seems to have made a almost unbelievable profit. So it's basically turned, I think, a $3,000 starting account into $43,000. To me, it's a little bit unbelievable, but we'll see how that goes. And this is trading on the Euro CHF, the Euro Swiss franc. And so if I just go down a little bit, we can see that it's only showing results on the Euro Swiss franc, but it's saying that it can be traded on other pairs and time frames. And the cost is, it's showing some very nice looking back tests here. Only back test over a certain period of time, so 2020 to 2021 on a $1,000 account, that's made 500. Similar here on the low risk settings. It's quite a cheap expert advisor. Basic one real account license is going to be 149, 2 is 200, and 3 is 250. So that's a relatively cheap expert advisor. Now generally it looks very good. However, it's only for the single pair and time frame that they're showing results, so we're going to focus on that. Let's just again have a very quick look at those statistics. So we've got a win rate of 71%, and we've got a profit factor of 4, and it's taking roughly a trade every couple of days. So let's focus on that for when we perform our own stats and compare. I of course perform my own back test, as I always recommend. I performed a full tick back test over 5 years of data, and here are the results. As we can see here, they're pretty good results. It's not made as many trades as I would expect over 5 years, but it's still made a good number of trades. And we can see that the total net profit's about nearly 8,000, and the drawdowns much less than that. So there's a pretty good return to drawdown ratio there. Profit factor is about double what they're showing, but it's comparable. And in terms of win rate, which is always good to see, we see a similar equity curve and a similar win rate. We can kind of determine it's behaving similarly to as they're showing. And so we've got about 70% too. So really it's looking like it's back testing in a similar manner to how we are showing here. So we can see that we have run this on a $10,000 demo account, and we've made 1,300 in the balance. The equity is slightly less. Let's just take a quick look at the equity. Again, the equity's following the balance reasonably well, so we're not getting these big drawdowns, and that's kind of typically shown in the back test I've done too. We've actually got a higher win rate, which is fine. Profit factor is very similar to what I back tested, and we're actually showing in the real-time results that we're making the same amount of trades per day as well. So these results are all looking very good. I always recommend we have at least 30 trades for stats to be significant. In this case, we've got 46. That's a very good result, and it's very much backing up what we're expecting from the vendor and our own back tests. This was trading on a Black Bull demo account for about 4 months. That's a good amount of time, a good number of trades. So it looks like it's very much a contender to start trading live now. And of course, I made sure to trade with a regulated broker. So in this case, I chose Black Bull Markets, as they have excellent trading costs and execution speeds, which is very important when algo trading. If you're interested in opening an account with them, I'll put a link in the description to the review page that we've got here on the Academy. There's an in-depth review here that you can read, or to open an account, click that link. And also there's a big benefit to opening an account through the Academy, because institutional accounts with lower trading costs can actually be opened for a $2,000 deposit rather than a $20,000 deposit. Now I also have a couple of warnings about this expert advisor. The first is that they only show results for the Euro Swiss franc H4 time frame, yet they recommend it for 6 other pairs and time frames. Now I perform back tests for all of these over 5 years, and no back tests were profitable. So I have to recommend only sticking to this single pair and time frame, unless you are able to optimize maybe for others, but with the default settings as provided, stick to this pair and time frame. If I just show that, there is a number of other pairs and time frames, and also as you can see here, it's just the single pair that it's kind of showing. And the second warning I have is their refund policy. This applies to many vendors out there, so it's worth pointing out. So let's take a look. We can see here in the terms and conditions that they are, well, I think, hold on, if I maybe just go back a second, it's probably just stated somewhere on the purchase. It would be very easy. So what's it say? 30-day money-back guarantee. So it's easy to kind of look at this and go, oh, well, what's to lose, right? And many vendors, it's a no questions asked money-back guarantee that's provided. But in this case, if we go to the terms and conditions again, what it's actually saying now is it's saying we provide 30-day money-back guarantee in condition of loss. So if you want a refund, you have to send your live account statement of 20 days trading history. And by using this EA, if your account balance is in loss with the recommended deposit, we will issue a refund. So it's quite a bit of work to get that refund. Now I hate refund policies like this because it is unfair. It's not really trading, in my opinion. The user should be able to decide if it's not for them based on a number of factors. I, for example, perform my own back tests or robustness checks on all EAs, and if it fails those, I just don't want to trade it. And I should be able to just go, look, this EA does not pass my kind of robustness checks criteria, so I'm not going to trade it. I'm not just going to take your word for it. And also, pretty much every strategy is going to have winning months and losing months. And this does not mean that it will be profitable long term. So not being able to get your money back simply because it performed well for 1 month, but you don't really trust it in the long term is not really fair, in my opinion. So I think there's a warning there. It does look good. And in this case, having tried it and with all the results I've shown, I would trade it. In my personal opinion, I would trade it on this one pair. But that's not always the case. And if I hadn't had similar backtest results and stuff, I wouldn't want to have to go through the effort of explaining my case for a refund. I don't think that's fair. So now I hope that's been helpful and saved some time for others in assessing the strategy. It does look worth trading on this pair, as I said, and it's relatively low cost. However, just be wary of the refund policy and also trading other recommended pairs. Please also see this video reviewing the exciting new crypto investor EA. Trade safe and bye.